Hi, everybody.
Ooh.
I'm Joe Grisafi, and this is...
I'm Sarah Gaston.
And we've invited our friend, actor and Troy Parker, to talk with us today.
Yes.
Hi, Troy.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
So,
Oh, you're hosting as well?
yeah.
Oh.
Well, why do you think I'm in frame?
Yeah, so we're going to
don't
skip
know.
all the what made you want to become an actor
Okay, cool.
nonsense.
Good,
That's
'cause
for
I don't-
another,
'cause I
let
don't
someone
know.
else ask you those questions.
All right.
Troy is here because he left Houston
He's on
to
a
go
work
be an
release
actor
program.
in Atlanta
Correct.
twice. And we want to talk to you about your experience
Yeah,
in
twice.
Georgia.
Yeah. In Georgia. Okay, cool. What do you want to know? Or just want me to free ball it? Can I say ball?
You can say ball. You can say balls. No, just whatever you want to talk about. Sarah's going to have some questions. I would like to know just.
Okay.
What did you what was it like on a day-to-day basis as an actor in Georgia? We all know what it's like here in Houston, but Georgia's a hot spot. Atlanta's a hot spot. There's a lot of opportunities,
Right.
but it's a different scene.
It's true. I guess it depends on what stage of when I was living there, what it was. Because when I first got there, I didn't have representation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, can I ask you about that?
by all means.
Yeah. What made you decide to go without representation?
To go there without representation,
Mm-hmm.
because my understanding was through the research and like conversations I'd had is that it was easier to get representation if you were a local, as opposed to reaching out. And I had reached out to some agencies prior, I think like 2 years before that, and didn't. I got the hey, thanks.
So, but did they at least
good
respond?
Yeah, they responded.
We're with a great agent out there, but it took a while for them to respond.
Who were you with?
We're with Trinity.
Trinity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and it took
They responded. They were just so busy at the time that they took a while to load us
Yeah.
on.
right. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to get representation outside of your city, it could take a while. You may
It
not
does.
get any response,
Right.
but it helps to. What I found is it helps to know someone that's already represented by them.
Exactly.
And
The
they can
referral.
say, hey, my friend Joe, my friend Troy, submitted to you.
My friend
Do you mind
Sarah.
my friend Sarah.
Acquaintance.
Submitted.
Whatever.
And I know you booked some stuff. First of all, tell us what
I
you
have
booked.
In Atlanta specifically, I did 3 TV shows, a commercial, and 3 music videos.
Can you tell us
Yeah.
what they are? You're at
Yeah.
liberty to tell us the title?
Yeah, first of all, they're really small, so don't blink or you'll miss.
okay.
Or you'll miss.
It's okay.
I booked The Gifted, which is a Marvel show,
Mm-hmm.
which I was excited about. I booked The Deputy,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which my scene got cut. Hey, but I was that
Yeah.
blur. It was awesome. I was in
The
the scene with
glamour of show
with the main
business.
guy. What's his name? Steven Dorff.
Oh, I
So
like him.
yeah, I liked him too. He's actually pretty short,
Yeah, he's a little
oddly
guy.
enough.
Yeah.
And then I booked the Soul Train thing on BET, American Soul,
Okay.
for TV stuff.
Now, were
think
these
that's it.
principal roles?
They were speaking roles.
Then they're principal roles.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, when you were out there, did you do any extra work?
I did for a SAG commercial.
Okay. Well, that's worth it.
Because it's a payday, baby.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, actually before I got representation, I did also do an extra day on I forget the name of the show, but it was one of those 12-hour days where you're
Right. It's not
shoved
fun.
in a hole and
You do it once.
you're
and
shat
that's
upon.
enough sometimes.
So-
Yes.
And the reason I ask is,
yeah, I did that.
in
Just to
certain
kinda see.
cities and certain markets, casting directors that only do principal work kind of frown on people who constantly work as an extra.
Yeah.
So did you experience anything like that out there? Did you talk to anybody? Did you, word on the street was, if you're an extra, you're an extra. If you want to be a principal, don't do extra work.
I'd already had that kind of that perception. So, but I literally, this was the first time I went out there, and I didn't do anything for like 3 months, and I was like, I want to kind of see what's going on, see what it's
Sure.
like, and so I did one of them, and then the pay to the time involved was yeah.
So was it really? I mean, a scouting mission versus a payday?
It was more like, I was kind of bored, in all honesty, as well, and I wanted to kind of get out there, and maybe this is what I needed to go talk to someone and network, because you never know who you're going to meet, what
sure.
relationship you can have,
Right.
and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go do it.
Right.
And I would do a SAG extra again.
Oh,
'cause
I would too.
payday.
Yeah.
yeah.
SAG
But,
commercial extras are paid
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Now, when I was in California, I did probably a little too much extra work, but you quickly can tell who the actors are that are doing it and who the career extras
Career
are.
extras, yeah.
And you want to, if you do extra work, you want to lean towards those people who are actors
Right.
that just happen to be doing this because they need a payday.
Well, there were specific casting directors just for extras
Sure.
in
Right.
Atlanta. And so I don't
Yeah.
I think you could actually get away with it with, I don't think if you had, I don't think the agents, I mean, maybe there's a secret society on the backside where
No,
they're like,
I know it's different.
but I mean, there's just so much going on, or there was before
Yeah.
the pandemic, but
it sounds like
they don't have time to,
you got your extras casting directors and
Yeah.
casting companies that just deal with that. And
Exactly.
you have your agents who deal with principals and casting directors that they work with.
Yep.
And I think my guess would be if you're doing extra work, the principal casting directors aren't going to know about it unless you tell them.
exactly.
And you wouldn't.
Yeah,
Personally,
I didn't
my
tell 'em.
advice to anyone that's doing extra work that wants to be a principal
Don't tell them.
is don't brag about it.
No. I
Don't
mean,
talk
what's
about it.
to brag about in all
Yeah.
honesty?
But you know, if you're on Facebook,
But
you see
if they
people
do.
doing that.
Yeah,
And
well,
they-
when
they
you first start
embellish-
off,
Yeah.
you do that. I was guilty.
Sure.
when I first
and-
started
and
off,
we know
and now I look
actors
back
who,
and-
we know actors who have embellished their IMDb listing with
Do
all
we?
the extra work.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
No, well, you know what? That person didn't come to mind when I said that, but now that you
Okay.
mention it,
Okay.
yes. So it's easy to tell when you're embellishing the truth with
Right.
with
Oh.
extra work. But let's get off the extra work.
Okay, cool.
Again, going back to the day-to-day life of an actor in Atlanta, what did you do to make money outside of this?
Man, I went there and started waiting tables. And it was it was consistent money. It was good money. It was a Ford Fry restaurant. Superica, eat there. It's delicious. But it was, God, I'm old,
Wait,
man.
a forward fry?
Ford Fry he's a chef. He was a chef for Justin Bieber for a little while.
Oh, okay.
No, he's actually a really talented chef. He has a variety of different restaurants in Atlanta.
Okay.
Also, there's one in here now called Superica on Shepherd. He
What-
has some in Tennessee, I believe.
What kind of cuisine?
I did Mexican,
Oh.
but it was like very upscale, like you were spending some money there, and the drinks were. I mean, it's a really good. It's a good product, but I mean, I'm older, man. I'll be 52 this year, and it's hard work
Yeah.
on your
Can't-
back.
Yeah, I can't
and-
imagine.
You never waited tables, did you?
No, I did. I worked at fast food. It's not the same. But
No, it's not. I've waited tables many times. But anyway, did that for a while, and then I had I kind of have a slight recurring back injury that needs to be addressed, which means my fat ass needs to lose about 40 pounds. The first step number one. But anyway,
Is it all? Do you carry it all in your ass?
that's for another interview, isn't it?
no, let's
Another conversation.
Did you find what kind of social network and social support did you have there? Like your friends
man.
and family.
Well, at first I didn't really know anybody there. Yeah, I didn't know anybody. I'm trying to think who was there. Kristen was there a little bit.
Denise was there.
Denise came the second round. I didn't really know anybody. Maybe one or two people when I was there. So, yeah, my social. I was starved socially and intimately, if you must know, Sarah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so when I was there, I was socially starved. In all honesty, the first 3 months I wasn't working, and I had signed a 3-month lease, which you know can be very expensive.
Interesting. I didn't know they
And-
had those out there.
Well, you can do a 3-month lease here, but you pay for it. I mean, they'll gladly
True story.
charge you more for less, you know. So,
Right.
yeah, I went out there, and then honestly, the first time I went, I didn't stay very long. I was out there like maybe, I think after my 3-month lease, I came back.
And what was the deciding factor there?
For me coming back,
Yeah.
man, I just I don't think I was mentally prepared right, and I hadn't gotten any representation. Well, actually, I did. I got East Coast talent during the last part, but I still was like, I was like, you know, I need to go back to Houston, see my friends, get some more. I was like, my money was disappearing so fast, and so I moved back. I was a coward. And I came back. Well, maybe not a coward, but I realized that I needed a recharge.
Right.
So I came back, and then I
get
stayed
that.
here for a year. But then I made some adjustments, and then went back the following year, or 12 months later, and I stayed until the pandemic thing. So this is a
So really-
totally extraneous, different situation.
So it really shut the city down.
Yeah. I mean, all my all my revenue streams. Well, I fly back and forth because I was DJing there and DJing here as well. And I lost like 15 weddings and 4 acting gigs because I also do a lot of commercial acting, or as far as like corporate acting.
Right.
Like the coaching. Like I have clients in like Manhattan, Chicago, St. Louis, Houston,
Sounds
LA.
like what you do as well.
Yeah, I do it out of
Yeah.
a company called Supporting Roles out of Canada, and we go do the scenarios and the role play to help them prepare for
Yeah.
all that stuff. So, and they take care of me, which is really nice. So.
Well, you mentioned you fly. That gets
Yeah.
expensive. I know your circumstances are unique, so let's.
I fly for free.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people think they can fly back and forth,
Right.
You can't.
and it's very expensive. So
It
Troy,
is.
Troy has a great advantage here that most people don't.
I have a flight angel. Yeah, an old friend of mine who's going to remain anonymous, but
You can tell me after.
I knew this friend back in the high school days, so over 30 years ago.
Okay.
And this person who reached out when I moved to Atlanta the second time was like, "Hey, do you miss your friends and family?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course I do." And they offered me to get on their buddy pass or their it's not called a buddy pass. What's the other one? Companion pass, which is like your companion.
Right.
But and at first I said no. I said no for like about a month, and I said you can give it to someone else in your family, like your kids or your brother or whatever. And this person was like, no, we're all taken care of. It's all good. I know I want to be part of your success, and I think it's brave what you're doing. So by all means, please take advantage of this. And it was really emotional. It was, and it was good for 10 trips, 10 round trips. And I went through those actually fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And I still had some more like weddings to DJ here. And then this person was like, "Hey, I know you have a wedding coming up. Do you need a ticket?" And I was like, "Well, I thought we'd exhausted all the 10 trips." And this person was like, "No, I have a pool of points I can use for you as well, because I've been with the company so long." I was like, "Well, can't you use those points on a toaster or something for yourself?" And they're like, "No, all the prizes suck. I'd rather use it on you." And I was like, "Oh." Then I was really reluctant to take because I was feeling kind of shitty about it, but thankful yet shitty at the same time.
Right.
Is there a word for that?
Shankfully?
Shankful.
Shankful. I like it.
Yeah.
Zing.
And yeah, exactly. But then, so at the end of the year, I got a notice from the person that they had changed their policy, and now it was unlimited.
Now it's unlimited.
Now it's
Wow.
I was like, sure. I thought they were making shit up, and they sent me look, like a screenshot of the email, and I was
Right.
like,
They're telling you
awesome.
it's unlimited, but they're really
right,
paying for it.
right. So I've been, I'm so lucky, and that's how I still keep my agent in Atlanta by being here because I can
They
fly
can
back and
really
forth.
go on a moment's notice.
Yeah, you really can.
Yeah.
So
Our agent in Atlanta has gotten us booked on a few things.
nice.
And
Can you talk about them?
Yeah. One of the for me, the exciting one was getting cast as Thomas Jefferson for a film at the George Washington Museum.
Nice.
My
And
favorite past president.
and the production company in that case flew me out, put me up.
Did
flew
you
me
film
back.
at the Monticello?
It
Isn't
did. No.
Isn't that where his house was?
No.
His house was called the Monticello? Was
Yeah,
it?
it is Monticello.
It was on the property.
That
It
was
was
his
definitely
house.
on the property.
Wait, you filmed on Monticello?
No.
I was just throwing my history.
I don't remember the name of the
Flexing
building
some
we
history on you.
filmed in, but it wasn't a famous structure
Okay.
that's widely recognizable. But it was right there on the
Well,
Potomac.
good for you, man.
Walk out of the little room, not even a hotel, a little suite,
Uh-huh.
little bed and breakfast type thing, and like there's the Potomac,
Yeah.
just beyond the trees. Anyway,
Sounds
my
like
point
he's trying to
is,
take you out on a date.
it was a video audition
Right.
that I got cast off video,
Good.
and they flew me out and flew me back. My experience at the airport on the way back was tornadoes kept us at the airport for 24 hours.
Oh.
So I got video of maybe I can find it and add to this, of all just waves of people sleeping in the airport.
I can
Nice.
sleep in public.
Yeah. It would be different now.
Be a little different now for sure.
My point is, I guess I'm trying to make is, if you're out of town, you got to be prepared to also pay your way.
Oh yeah, for
Another
sure.
job that I got booked through this Atlanta agent, or Georgia agent, I should say, was in Louisiana, which was local hire, and I had to pay my way and pay for my hotel room.
Yeah.
So it ate from the income. You got to decide if it's
So,
worth it.
yeah, you got to decide exactly.
Yeah. And sometimes
It's a choice, man.
Sometimes the credit and the exposure is totally worth
And you've
it.
booked
Good old
in
exposure.
Atlanta, right?
A couple of times.
Yeah.
Yep.
So mention those.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah. So can you talk about
Well,
that?
yeah, actually, I can. Yeah, so I booked a few things for ID Discovery. I booked.
I did too. That's one I forgot. Sorry.
Did you? Yeah. Let's
Murder
see.
calls.
Mine was Your Worst Nightmare and To Catch a Killer.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and those were both fantastic experiences.
Did they shoot in Knoxville,
Uh,
Tennessee? That's where mine
no,
was.
no, no.
Up
They were
Tennessee.
in the greater Atlanta area.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What made you decide you needed to be in Atlanta?
For the opportunities. I didn't have the scope of work, if you will, to make an impact on the LA market. So Atlanta seemed like the smart choice, and it had a similar cost of living to Houston. LA's so expensive, saturated. It just made more sense on paper if you made the pros and cons list for me to go to Atlanta.
Okay, so were you thinking of it as a bridge destination, build up more of your resume, and then go to LA, or was
That was the hope. Yeah.
that was the hope? Got
That
it.
is the hope. Excuse me.
So you could still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you need to have X amount of reputable TV credits and or roles for that matter. You know, it depends on how your reel looks and all that stuff. And I don't have the marketing trio, the marketing material, the headshot reel, and what's the other word?
Resume.
Resume. Thank you. to make an impact on the LA market. I mean, I think it's just. I mean, maybe I do, but I don't think I do.
Yeah.
And I want to be as. I mean, shit, man, I'm 51. I want to make the right choices best I can, and
Right.
I'm a little
because
methodical about that.
some people kind of think like, no, just go to LA and just go for it, and
Yeah, if I was in my 20s again, I'd
Well,
all
there is
day.
the argument that you could get the roles if you're there,
Yeah.
right,
but
right.
like we're at an age where you just don't have the time necessarily. But if you're 20, yeah, get your butt out there.
Well,
Yeah, I
you know,
don't know.
the other thing that I'm thinking of is, you know, there is like a hierarchy, like, you know, get your day player and get your guest starring role and then get your co-star and then your recurring and that sort of thing. But there is still the principals are cast out of, you know, or leads are cast out of Los Angeles. We're never going to get more than a supporting role out of
Sure.
Atlanta. Is the pervading belief. Was that something you were concerned about?
No, not initially, because I mean, I just wanted to get access to more recognizable credits.
Got it.
Like, for example, since I've been there, I've had like 7 auditions for Ozark, like 5 for Stranger Things, and these were like nice roles, and some with Jason Bateman, you know, sharing scenes with him. Is it Jason or Justin? It's Jason, right? Yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason called me. So I mean, it's definitely I definitely saw the opportunities, and I've had friends in a similar scenario, if you will, that went to LA and that had way more, you know, reputable credits than I have had, and just kind of got lost in the vortex, if you will.
Yeah,
So-
I know very few actors personally who've gone to LA and actually something became of them.
Managed to work.
You know,
yeah.
but there's a fantastic example in Texas, Jason Douglas,
Oh, I
the
love
success he's
Jason.
had without
Right.
having to leave the state.
Right.
Jason and Dave Maldonado, they haven't leave the
Yeah,
state.
yeah,
Yep.
So-
Well, and Ruddy.
I love you guys.
Ruddy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm closer. I know Jason and Dave better,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but Ruddy is absolutely, and Brandon Smith.
Yeah.
But Brandon Smith is such a good networker.
Well, and Brandon was in LA for a long time.
True.
So
True.
yeah.
You had a lot of auditions for some really good.
Oh, there's been
Yeah.
The auditions have been great. The
Now,
opportunities
I
have
wanna
been
ask
great.
you
I
about
haven't
that.
I haven't booked them, unfortunately.
That's okay. I want to talk about the audition process out there, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but what we've learned is a lot of the auditions are not in person; that you still have to tape.
That's
in Atlanta?
very true. A lot of them. I mean, a very very few do go in front of the actual casting director.
Right. So you tape a lot,
Yes.
and that could get really expensive. And I know if you hear, it can get expensive because it's $30,
Sure.
$40, $50, $60 a pop.
Yep.
What is the answer in Atlanta?
Well, the answer was, before COVID, there was a company called Nova House,
Mm-hmm.
opened by some dear friends of mine, which unfortunately recently had to close.
Oh no, I've heard about this.
Yeah,
But-
they had a taping facility where you would pay a monthly membership and you would go for unlimited. I mean, God, I think my busiest month there for like reputable shows, for like good stuff that you'd want to do, I had like 45 auditions in one month.
That's wild because.
And I had knocked them all out at Nova House,
Yeah.
paying, I think it was $60
I think that was right.
for the month or something like that.
The front
But then there might go a
door.
month where you don't have any auditions. But
Well,
you
they
still
were
have
slower seasons. This was like the October for my second trip when I got there. Right when I booked with my agents BYSB Talent there, they had split off from Jay Purvis. Well, not split off, but the guys who started it used to work for Jay Purvis, which is a very reputable talent company, and they've had some great success, and that's who I was fortunate enough to get on with them. And the auditions were just rolling in, man.
That's amazing that you just
So
just to have that many auditions is exciting.
yeah, it was very, 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 very cool, and I was very thankful to have just paid that one spot a month, and then you just got to. I mean, they had an app with calendars, and it was very. I mean,
So you
3
book
different
your-
taping rooms, and yeah,
You have an audition, you get on the app.
see when the next time slot's available. Now the only bad thing about that, mind you, is you have either a 30-minute window or an hour, and so you damn well better be prepared.
Yeah.
And because there's people out there that you're kind of pressure. There's some pressure there because you only have this window, but they would edit it there and then email it to you.
Yeah.
So was there always a reader there?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
there always
Yeah.
a camera operator?
Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like Argentum in Los Angeles, but with
Yeah.
Argentum, yeah, you book and you prepay ahead of time, and you've got 20 minutes, and you better be on time, you better be early, and you better be done in 20 minutes.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yep.
It's a great business model. In all honesty, as long as you have the volume to support that.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're supplying a service. I mean, so it's not like they had inventory, but they had gone a step above. They had like an entertainment area, and they would have like movie nights there and socials for the actors. And you could come and when it was slower, they could rent out the various rooms for casting calls
Sure.
for
Yeah.
table reads or whatever.
Did they shut down because of the pandemic?
Yeah, they lost all their money. So,
Yeah.
Wow,
which
that's
is a shame.
unfortunate.
Yeah, and they're absolute sweethearts, man. They're really good friends. Well,
It sounds like they got
they're
a
amazing
model
people.
where they can come back
I hope, man.
if
I
things
hope
pick
so.
up again.
I hope
and they
so.
will.
Yeah.
And they will.
Yeah. So that was great. Then I moved in with some other actors, and we had our own like dedicated room with lights and cameras. So
Right,
then
that's good.
Then I stopped going. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the best way to do it.
The Nova House sounds fantastic. I wish there was enough opportunities here for someone to start something like that here, but there's just not.
If someone had a multi-purpose space like this, for example, you could have it during the day where this room is your taping, and you could do just a blanket amount, and of course they would drive to you, and you live close to here, right? So you can just come and flick on a switch and already have your camera set up and be done.
At my old house, I had that set
I
up.
know. I
Yeah.
taped there.
I taped there too.
So we're reaching about 30 minutes with Troy here, so we're going to stop this part of the interview and actually tape a part 2 because we got some more important, maybe some more personal stuff to cover. So thanks for watching, and when part 2 is ready, I will link it to the end of this. All right, thanks.